Good morning and welcome everybody to my channel. My name is Jakub Vaniš and today I'm gonna be reviewing the first episode of Fallout TV series from Amazon. So, I'm a big sci-fi fan, I'm a big video game geek, and I really enjoy the Fallout universe. I've been around actually since the Fallout 1, which was like this isometric RPG back in the 90s. Fallout 1 and Fallout 2, very atmospheric, quite dark, quite a lot of great story behind it, dark themes, a lot of reading involved, but that was a cult game. That was so wonderful. And then for a while, the Fallout universe was kind of dormant. Nothing was happening. I think there was a Fallout Tactics game, which was like almost a multiplayer thing, almost like a strategy game. And that one I really enjoyed. And then the rights were purchased by Bethesda. And Bethesda made Fallout 3, which was really critically acclaimed. I think it was in 2009 or something like that, just right after Oblivion, and like people really loved what Bethesda did with this. Then Obsidian actually took the license and they made kind of a DLC, expansion of that Fallout 3 story, and it was called New Vegas. That was apparently the best Fallout story there is. I haven't played that one. I need to catch up. And then there was Fallout 4, which I adored. I really loved that story for PlayStation 4 or for the newer Xbox One. So that one I can recommend to anybody. There should be a new update coming soon for PlayStation 5 on April 25th. And that one should be adding like 60 frames per second, better graphics, and some quality of life improvements. So if you need your Fallout fix, definitely I can recommend you to go there. And then there was Fallout 76, which was quite a disaster when it dropped, but that was like an MMO online RPG, which had a lot of bugs and issues when it was released, and that is the latest Fallout game. However, apparently they ironed it out, and it's completely a new game these days, so it's quite recommended. And if you have Amazon Prime, you actually get that one for free. So you can test it out, especially with your friends. It's like a co-op experience. So yeah, I can recommend that one. But now let's get back to the business of the Fallout TV series. And I have to be honest, the trailers didn't look like much. To be honest, I was not sure about the costumes and about some of the effects, the CGI, etc., and the casting. But I did the first episode and I'm sold, man. Like this turns out to be one of the best video game adaptations, just with the on the same pedestal as The Last of Us last year, or we also got the League of Legends Arcane's TV series that was wonderful, and this is kind of the same level for me. And I've just seen first episode. There's 8 of them all together, and you can binge watch them on Amazon. I don't know why they dropped all of these episodes all together. It's a bit of a pity, because honestly this is such a great thing. There would be this like water cooler discussion at work with people to be looking forward to the next episode. It's a pity that you can now binge watch it, but I'm gonna make sure that I can review the full series on my podcast. But today let's just talk about the first episode with the spoilers as well. So the Fallout TV series episode 1, it's about 1 hour, so quite a long episode, and introduces the first 3 kind of storylines. So the story is going to be following 3 protagonists that are in different part of the world, let's say. The first one of them is called Lucy, and Lucy is living in the Vault 33, so she's a vault dweller for full of her life, basically for the entirety of her life. The next character that we're going to be following, a next arc, is with Maximus, and he's in the Brotherhood of Steel. That's also very interesting. And then the last one is a character that's called Ghoul, and that one seems to be the most fun that the show has with. But let's kind of break down the episode. So at the beginning, we're kind of getting a flashback of when the whole situation started. So basically the world is at the brink of World War III, though everything is kind of in the 50s vibe, but I think it actually is happening in like 2078 or something like that. And there is the Ghoul character is actually in a entertaining kids at a birthday party as a cowboy. and he has a little helper, his daughter, and these let's say rich folks are kind of looking down at him. It's not that nice. And then suddenly, it all has this eerie vibe. There is some guy at the news, saying, hey, why do I even have to say the news if nothing like this will matter in a few moments? And it has this eerie vibe, and then you see why, because actually the drop start bombing. And the ghoul character even tells to his daughter, like, something that he learned from the army, that, or some friend of his told him in the army, that if the mushroom cloud from the nuclear explosion is smaller than your thumb, then run for your life, and if it's bigger, then there's no point of running. And I love that moment. But honestly speaking, there is so much emotion in just this one scene of the bombs dropping. Like, this is what, first 5 minutes of this show, and you're already connected better with all of the characters than almost any other TV show. Like, they really nailed this. And why did they nail this? I think it's because the writers and the producers are fans of the game. They played the game, and it's also, they have some really strong Hollywood names behind it. So the first episode was written and directed by Jonathan Nolan, the brother of more famous Christopher Nolan, Chris Nolan, who finally got his Oscar recently for Oppenheimer. And it shows, man. Like, this is a talented guy. He has written a lot of movies, the scripts for a lot of movies of his brother, for Chris Nolan, like Interstellar, etc. So he knows a great story, and apparently he knows how to direct as well. So that was just the intro. And then let's say 1/3 of the story were following Lucy, who's a world dweller. And she basically, I don't think that there's that many people in the world. So, like, in order not to degenerate kind of the population there, they need to do some exchanges for wives and husbands. So they made a commitment to a Vault 32 to exchange a husband, to get a husband in exchange for some, I think, some seeds or something like that. And yeah, it turns out, so she gets married, and these people from Vault 32 look a little bit weird. And actually, turns out that these are raiders, and these are raiders from the wasteland. So they are from the surface. They raided Vault 32, probably more vaults as well, and suddenly all havoc, breaks out. And it just shows how violent this show is. Like, there's so much gore and violence, and they are not really shying away from this at all. And I love that about it. It's really reminiscent of the games in the aspect of that gore and violence, the look and feel of the show, but also the humor. There's a lot of humor in this one. And they're even using, so Lucy gets stabbed really badly at one point by her husband, and she just uses a stim pack just like in the game, and like moments later she's running around like nothing happened. So that's funny that this is just like in the game. And then basically what happens there in that link is that the raiders take over that vault, and they abduct Lucy's father and take him away, and then they leave a lot of that behind, and then they leave, I think they steal from the armory, etc, etc. But the father of Lucy's character is missing, and he was kind of the mayor of that vault. He was responsible for everybody, and Lucy is the only one who wants to go out and find him in the wasteland. So she wants to go to the surface, and the people are against it, I think because of the politics, because they finally are in the lead, and they don't want to give in, that power. So she takes her brother and her cousin and a couple other people that helped her out, and she gets out. And yeah, just the moment when she gets out of the wall, like really reminiscent of the games, especially the Fallout 4. It's beautiful. The wasteland is done so well, and I cannot wait for the next episodes to see some of the creatures, right? Some of the mutants, etc. So that was the storyline of Lucy. Really interesting character. She's like the person that, like, she's just too good to be true, right? Like, she's just really, like, she's a world dweller, right? So she doesn't know how it is in the surface. Even the way she talks or handles weapons or tools, is different. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to how she's gonna be handling, you know, some people and some creatures in the wasteland. The next character arc is with Maximus, who is a person that is in the Brotherhood of Steel, and basically he's kind of being bullied there by almost everybody. He doesn't seem to be extremely capable, and his best friend gets kind of booby trapped. Her boot has a razor in, and she was chosen to become the next squire for a knight. These T60 in these T60 iron suits, and it's a big promotion for her. And apparently, somebody booby trapped her, and she will need to recover. It will take some time. And initially they blame Maximus, for doing this, but in the end they choose him as the next squire. So he got promoted in the end, and by the end of this episode, he takes a huge bag of things and tools for his knight, which is called Titus, I think. So again, there were just seeing these T60 armor sets was incredible. They are all practical. I think they look a little bit too light. It's obvious that these don't really are not really like 200 kilos or anything like that, but I think you get used to it. I actually like the design, especially the helmet. I think everything is really, really just like in the video games, like the Pip-Boys and the Vault and the Wasteland. Everything looks just right, to be honest. So that was great. And the third character that gets introduced is Ghoul, and we actually find out that this is the character that we were following in the beginning when the drops bombed. So that's like 200 or 300 years ago almost. So it's surprising that he survived that long. Well, he's a mutant now, so he mutated because of the radiation somehow. And his intro is really cool. It's like a Western thing. They dig him out in a cemetery, so he looks like a zombie. He's totally burned, totally red face. He doesn't have a nose or anything like that. And he's such a cool dude, these southern accents, etc. He fights over, basically his life, and he just uses super cool sentences. And I think we're gonna have most fun watching this guy. But I have to say, in these 57 minutes of that first episode, I was intrigued by everything that I saw. Like, this is such a captivating world, and I cannot wait to see more of this. But they, like, according to the first episode, they nailed it, and I'm so surprised. Amazon, I don't think did great justice, to Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings brand by making the Rings of Power, which are a little bit controversial. In this case, I think it's made by the people that really understand that material. Though I'm pretty sure that people that loved the Fallout 1 or Fallout 2, the old games, I don't think that they will love this that much, because this is just way too funny. It's reminiscent of these Bethesda games, the Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas, and Fallout 76. So it is just like that. Like the designs and the humor and the storylines are very reminiscent and similar to this. If you are a big fan of 1 and 2 and hated everything else that came after this, you're not gonna like this. But otherwise, I can recommend it to almost everybody, even people that didn't play the games. I don't think that you have to. Maybe potentially after you watch this, you're gonna have that itch that you wanna check out what these games are actually about. And I think Bethesda is really missing out on, like, they should have just, because Todd Howard, the creator and the director or vice president of Bethesda, and creator of these licenses, he should have. He was involved since the beginning of creation of this TV series, so he should have made sure that they have something to release with this, right? Like it could have been just a DLC for Fallout 4 or just some small game. This was probably in the making for like 3-4 years, so apparently they're not really planning Fallout 5 for next 5, 6, 7 years. First comes the Elder Scrolls 6, and God knows when this comes, because they just released Starfield. So Fallout 5, yeah, unless they give the license to some other studio to play with, I don't think that we will see it for a long while. But yeah, you can play with Fallout 76 or Fallout 4. I think is still a great game, so I can recommend it to anybody, and I can recommend to everybody to check out this series. Like I said, I'm a little bit disappointed that it's a binge watch, that they dropped all of the episodes. It would be so cool to watch it just like Shogun, for example, and be looking forward to every single episode every single day, every single week. But it is what it is. At least I will be able to review the full series very soon, and hopefully it keeps that level or doesn't drop that much from the first episode. So this has been Jakub Vanish. Thanks a lot for watching. In case you have any questions, drop a comment, drop a like. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like. Otherwise, take care everybody, and cheers. Bye bye.